Nice to meet everybody. My name is Rodica Macadrai. I'm from Romania. Yes, Romania is here, yeah. And I'm really happy and privileged to be at this event, although thank you for asking me to speak at this event. I came here to learn. And that's very important because we are implementing the Breakfast Club version of the flow in Romania. On top of the flow we have been designing and implementing since 2016, 2015 actually. So there are a lot of details which we have to switch and adapt in the way we work. So I wanted to make sure, together with a lot of members from our flow committee and a couple of other leaders from the country who are implementing the model, that we are not missing any details. Why is that important? I'm going to share about it a little bit later. But just in a couple of words, I would like to tell you about myself. I'm 54. I'm originally from Moldova and now living in Romania. I'm a psychologist, and I was studying for my psychology degree with a full passion, because I am passionate about psychology. I am, and I think I'm always going to be passionate about psychology. And everybody in my family is laughing, is that if I want to relax, I will read some scientific papers. It's just relaxing me. But on the other hand, I'm a passionate Herbalife distributor, because from day one, when I started on these products, I understood why they make a difference and how this can be a long-lasting impact in somebody else's life. Although when I first met Herbalife, this is a little bit of an anecdote, I didn't like anything about it. I didn't like the presentation. I didn't like the energy of the people. There was clearly, these guys were on something. I didn't know exactly what on. And there was clearly some scheme going on. It couldn't be so good. And then in the end, they presented the leader of the team who is going to say something which will change our lives. And I didn't like the guy at all. I mean, at all, I didn't like the guy. And that was Rodica Macadrai, who ended up being my husband, the father of my children, and my business partner for almost 30 years. But in the meantime, I was completely converted from somebody who was skeptical because I didn't have an experience with the products and with the business, to somebody who is a big advocate for the whole industry and for Herbalife in particular. And I came in the company as a customer. There is oftentimes this debate going, if you need to start immediately with the distributor or you need to start immediately with the customer. There was no way I could start as a distributor, no way. I was on my track, I was doing my PhD, I wanted to work in research, in psychology. I was coming from an entrepreneurial family. We were not poor. I didn't have the lack of money. I dreamed of the business. I would love to have the business, and I would love to travel a lot, but I was not looking for a business. Meeting with the company and having a customer experience changed all of that, because I started to do the business without even realizing that. I became ambassador of the company in like 2 weeks. And in about 2 months, I was already taking care of 15 people, and I had a lot of distributors in my team afterwards, just because I had the customer experience. So for me, whatever is meaning to start with the customer experience first makes sense. And I don't want to say that it's bad to start with the distributor experience, because we have been building and we keep building our business, talking both about the products and the business. But for me personally, that is a reality, and that was the only way in the end of the day that I could come to this company and work, because I needed to trust the product. I was a person who was a reference in my circle of influence. People were trusting my word, and I wanted to be sure that if I refer something to somebody, this is sound, and this is solid, and this is serious. And this is a lot happening in the clubs, and clubs are helping us actually overcome this beginning stage in the relationship with the customer, which is making the whole difference. So what is important is that we have a mission. And That's very important. Even if you don't realize personally and you don't articulate your mission, you are within somebody else's mission. And this, at the biggest scale, this is the mission of Mark Hughes. Because Mark Hughes was saying that he wants to create the best opportunity on the planet Earth, which can change financial future of the people in any country, and the best nutritional products, which can change the health future for any person in any country in the world. And this is a big thing. To be within a mission is extremely important. And even in the beginning, if you don't relate to having a mission, and you are right now just to go to the next level in your career, or to go to open your club, or to finish your junior partner training, you still are in a mission. And when you are doing things out of the mission, the energy you bring in is much, much bigger. Now, we bring that mission to reality through a business. You know, so you have a mission, and then there is different ways you can bring that mission to reality. In our case, we bring it through a business. And business means structure. Business means numbers. Business means results. And it's important that we don't forget about that, because the goal of a business is success. If you have a business and your business is not successful, they call it you go out of the business. You know, having an unsuccessful business is meaning going out of the business. And what is a successful business looks like in our situation? Although the principles I'm going to share about are valid for any other business. Success means solid results. What does it mean, solid results? It means that you can plan the results, you can predict the results, you can generate the results, you can grow your results. And if you have a business that now you have results and tomorrow everything is crashing, you need to be suspicious. Maybe something in your business model is not working, because a good business and a solid business is supposed to stay. Maybe not grow all the time, maybe not grow at the same pace, yes, but it's supposed to be and over time develop. The second thing what a successful business has is happy customers with excellent results and real brand ambassadors. And this is going up to any level, even if it is a bakery in a small community. If this bakery is working, that means that there is a group of raving fans in the community that love to go to that particular bakery and buy the breads and the muffins because they are good, because they're always fresh, because they get good service. It doesn't matter. But in the end of the day, only if your customers are paying for your products, you have a successful business. If you have a product, if you have a business, and this is not exchanging hands towards your customers, then the process is not complete. Another thing, in our case, is motivated distributors with attractive profits. Now, mind it, I didn't say motivated president team. I said motivated distributors, because we need to show in our business model at the lowest level of the marketing plan that the potential for earning is real. And even if somebody is earning 100 pounds or 200 pounds only, that's enough to build a foundation of trust. And if you have a good business model, then the people on the base already experience profits, already experience money, and for them, it's translating in success and opportunity. Another thing, we need to have leadership that build with focus on confidence, inspiring careers and lifestyle. If we have a successful business model, if we have a successful business in Herbalife, that's meaning that leaders are growing in the career, they have clarity, they have vision, they understand exactly what they need to do in order to progress in their business. And for me and Sergio, throughout the years, we always have been screening ourselves on these points. And there have been periods in our career, then some of this will not tick exactly. Maybe we were not happy with the customer outcome. So we will come and bring some news in the way we will approach the customers, or maybe our leaders were not growing in the career at the rhythm that we would see that. That's meaning, again, we needed to go back and to see what we're doing wrong, what we need to amend, and what we need to kind of fix in our way of working so our leaders can grow in the career. So you need to look for these signs. And now looking at the business model, at the Breakfast Club model, you need to understand that it's ticking all these boxes. This is why it's a very attractive business model, and not only for these reasons, but some other reasons. Okay. Now, what does a successful business model also means? It means that it has a fulfillment dimension. Fulfillment always comes between a sense of mission and your contribution to other people. Now, it's important to understand that in our business, even if you don't have a mission, as I said before, you are part of already a pre-existing mission. Now, it's the mission of Mark Hughes to deliver in the world what I spoke about earlier. For example, if we take Claire and Dan, they have their mission to have a set number of nutrition clubs with a set number of customers to change and also affect the community. When you have a mission and you have a way to contribute to other people, when you live not only success, but you live also fulfillment. For me, this is extremely important because there are so many unfulfilled successful people. People who have businesses, people who have money, but they lack something. They clearly lack something because the fulfillment can only come when you contribute to other people. And again, even if you are only for 3 months in the business and already in this training, and you don't have any idea about the mission, and you don't understand anything about fulfillment, you are in a business model which is bringing both. Because every day, through contribution to the people, through people telling us, thank you for being on the planet Earth. How lucky I am that I met you. The day I met you and I came into this club, everything changed in my life. It's bringing you as much satisfaction as the money you make, and this is incredibly powerful. Thank you.
Don't be afraid to catch fish.
Thank you. Another thing which a successful business needs to bring is quality relationship and the support of a strong team. Do you have a teamwork which is going right? Do you feel the support of your team? And a brand with an attractive and solid image. Now, we can use that to screen anything we do. Whatever business model we use and whatever business model we have used throughout the years, we have been always screening ourselves against these things because these are an indicator of a successful business, and it's important to understand that this is somehow where you want to go. Another thing which is important is you need to understand what are you looking for, because when we are building a business, we want to understand exactly what our business needs to contain. For example, for us, and this is very much in tune with what is happening in the UK in the Breakfast Club model, is that we want to build big communities of happy customers that use the products in the conscious way, and they will understand immediately why is this important. Together with their families, recommend them to their friends, and join our mission as coaches. Now, this is a particular way of building the things, which is extremely solid and sustainable because it's based on real consumption, is based on the loyalty of the customers, and is based on the power of referrals, which are front-loading our flow again and again and again. And we always had this conversation, and I was against nutrition clubs for years. I mean, for years. I have been we visited Mexico first time in 2007. And in 2007, this is many years ago. And we came back from Mexico and we said, we are not going to implement it, And then again and again and again. And for years, I was against. I said, I don't want to lose my freedom. I don't want to be working in a bar. I don't want to sell shakes. All the objection you hear and I had. But what I was really missing through all the business model, I was missing a vision of a clear pathway. And because I couldn't see the pathway, I knew that I wouldn't be able to implement it in the organization. So I had a promise of a pathway in Philippines, and I traveled in 2013 to Philippines to learn about the pathway. And there I understood what is the impact of the nutrition club. And that was the moment when I was converted forever. And from that moment on, we started implementing the model in our country. In 2019, we had around, 2020, just before the pandemics, we had about 600 clubs. We had to close the clubs on 15th of March, all of the clubs in the same day. But we were lucky enough and smart enough to have the marathons running in parallel with the club. So because we had the marathons, we were saved completely, because in one day we were able to transition from the offline clubs to the online clubs. And now what is happening is that we are we are returning back to the clubs, and now we took the version from the United Kingdom, and we are already more than 1 year in the implementation of the model. But we always listen to this conversation. What is better, the breakfast club, nutrition club, or the marathons, or use where talk, or the feed clubs? And there are many business strategies. It's not to say that the breakfast club is the only one working, you know? So I want to share with you the reasons why I consider that this is a very efficient and very, I don't want to say superior business model, because I don't really want to be in a situation when I say that something is inferior than what I do. That's not the point. For me, this is not the reason, the superiority or inferiority of some business model. For me, it's pure a question of business decision, which is about efficiency, and it's about tackling the biggest challenges we have in the business. So let's see what are the challenges we have in the business, apart from the support we have. Because of course we have a lot of support in what we do as a business and as a business model, but we also have a lot of challenges when we go every day on the marketplace. And we have challenges which are challenges with the customers. And we have challenges with the distributors. And we have challenges of the sponsors. And we have challenges of the downline. And when I say challenge, I don't mean weight loss challenge. I mean business challenges. And let's see what are the challenges with our customers. Now, one of the biggest challenges with our customers, and those of you who work longer in the company will understand what I mean, is the fact that we lose them. We lose them. Our average distributors are losing the customers very fast. And when I say about an average distributor, I say an average supervisor. And my experience before the clubs and the marathons, because the marathons are also having a high level of retention of the customers, is that an average supervisor is able to keep a customer a month. The most 2 months. What is an average supervisor? An average supervisor is somebody who is 3 months in the business. He has this level of skills. He is doing the invitation. He's doing the presentation. He's selling the program. He's doing the follow-up in the first month. Most probably after the first month, he will lose the person. Or after the second month. For some reasons, he cannot deliver a result. The customer is changing the mind. They are not using properly the products. Whatever is happening, the people are losing customers. And you need to understand that at your level, and even if you are a junior partner, this is something which is very important to understand. If you do 100 wellness tests, and out of these 100 wellness evaluations, you do 20 customers, and the next month you lose 15 of them. That's meaning that the next month you need to go and to replace everything you have lost. So there is not build up of 1 month or another over another month of the volume and of the customers, and you reach very fast the capacity of your own way of working, because you cannot work 48 hours a day. You can only work 24 hours a day. And when you do it in, month out, month in, month out, you are getting tired. And then you cannot lift the weight of your business and go furthermore. And I know that a lot of people in this room are from Clarendon's organization. But a lot of people are the so-called flippers, and I'm going to have a special message for the flippers, people who had a previous experience in another business flow, in another business model, who try to implement that. That is particularly important for that group of people, what I'm telling now. So why the customers are discontinuing to use the products is because they don't have enough trust. The second, they don't have enough knowledge. And if I met with the person, did a wellness evaluation, sold the product, and he went home, I have a limited power to influence that customer over the phone and from the distance. You need to understand this is a limited way I can do it. And it's very much based on how good as a communicator I am. And we know that most of us, when we come to the business, we are not so good communicators. We need to learn communication big time when we come here. Another thing is lack of good habits and plenty of bad habits. Our customers, they have unstable motivation. They don't have discipline. They have food addictions. They have lack of persistence. And another thing, they have a lot of bad influences. Family, internet, circle of influence, you name it. And this is making very hard for an average supervisor to keep a customer. Now you will ask me how we used to work before. This is how we used to work before. And we had great results, and we had a lot of growth in the company. But I'm just thinking how much growth we didn't had because we didn't figure out the right way to keep enough customers around ourselves. And you need to understand, if you are only able to keep a customer on average 1 month in your business, and then you change something and you are able to keep a customer 2 months in your business, that's meaning that you've increased your business 100%. This is how the customer retention is translating in business numbers. So for everybody here, be really, really concerned about how many months the customers are with you, and fight for every customer, because every extra month, that's meaning added productivity. And if we understand that the most work we do with the customer in the first month, then money coming in the second, third, after 6 months, 8 months, this is really easy money. So for us, the biggest interest is to have the customer as long as possible. But the regular business, the business where we don't have the possibility to tackle all these challenges, does not allow for that. Does it make sense what I say? Okay. Another thing, what are the challenges with the distributors? First of all, most of them are not entrepreneurs. Somebody came to the HOM, they heard about the business, they bought the distributor pack. Where did they went? Home. They went home, and they work from home, and they learn from home, and we don't know what they learn, and we don't know what they do. And it takes forever for them to learn the skills, because the exposure to the activity is very at a low level. They end up 2 or 3 months coming to the academies before making their first calls, and then they get quickly discouraged because they don't have entrepreneur mindset. So again, we bring a lot of distributors and we lose them. How did we work? We worked perfectly. We had a great growth and a lot of success. But I'm asking myself how much we didn't have, because we didn't have an opportunity to really keep the distributor and keep the distributor longer and teach them better what they have to do. Now they have no professional knowledge when they come. They don't know, they don't have the skills. A lot of them don't have the skills, don't know the flow, don't know the sales. A lot of people don't know sales, and our business is primarily sales, and sales is a lot of skills to develop. They don't know how to handle the objections. They don't know how to help customers to get results and distributors to launch their business. What does it mean, a customer to get result? Guys, you know that somebody, when is starting the program in the first month, they lose the 5 kilos. Or 6 kilos, or 3 kilos. What happens in the second month? When you need to be there for the customer, when you need to change their meal plan, when you need to encourage, when they lose 15 kilos and then they stop, and they don't lose any more, and we lose them from the consumption because the distributor doesn't know how to adjust the program. So there is a lot of knowledge to be acquired until you really become successful as a distributor. And this is again bringing to a massive loss of customers. So we lose customers because of the customers, and we lose customers because distributors don't have the right skill set, and we don't have a way of efficiently teaching them how to do things, okay? Now, our distributors have non-entrepreneur mentality already. They're very easily distracted. They have average motivation, goals, attitude, vision. mission. Tell me, please, how many of you had really, really small goals when you came into the business? Really, really small goals, you know? How many of you didn't believe that success is possible for you? You know, these are us when we come to the business, and these are our distributors. How many of you now have much bigger goals than you had in the beginning? How many of you are really started to believe that success is possible for you? Okay, what happened? There was a process. You have been through a process in which this kind of alchemy of thinking and attitude was happening. And this was happening, of course, through your daily actions and through your daily operations. But when people come to our business, they have all these minuses and minuses and minuses and minuses. So look, here we have a group of distributors which start really low on the skill set and attitude skill set and motivation and goals and trust in themselves. Here we have another group of customers that also have a lot of challenges. How do you build a business model? We did it, guys. We are heroes. I always say Herbalife distributors are heroes. But then there is a way which makes everything much easier, although it requires every day to work. But this is something very important which the Nutrition Club model is doing, and it's making the whole difference. Now, different personality types. Okay, what is the sponsor's challenge? Is effective training and duplication. This is a big challenge for sponsors. And this is for you, if you are a sponsor, even if you don't understand, this is a challenge. How you duplicate efficiently, how you teach the person efficiently. Breakfast Club model is managing all the challenges. For the customer, it builds confidence, offers knowledge for conscious usage of the product, vaccinates against a lot of negative influences, motivates, resurrects those who lose their motivations, focuses, increases average consumption, and prepares them to go to the trainee level. They don't even understand that, but they already are training for the future business. So in the moment they are open for the business, they are already ready to get into the training process. For distributors, make them focus and have daily activity. Now, I want to tell you something. There is no such business which can work from time to time and expect to be successful. If you have a bakery and 1 week it's open on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursday, but then on Friday, the owner suddenly decided that he needs to clean his own cupboard at home and he's not opening the bakery, and the next week, the bakery is open some other days, this bakery will go out of business, yes or not? Okay. We have a business where our distributors think that to work on a daily basis is not mandatory. They work from time to time and nobody can screen them, nobody can see them. They work from time to time, 2 months later they come to us complaining that they have done anything in their powers at all and they still don't get results. And you know what? We know that is not true and we cannot prove that. So it's their words against our words, and in the end, there is no business. So the fact that you need to be in the Breakfast Club every single day is the biggest gift that you can have as a distributor with not entrepreneurial mentality, with not good skills, not good communication, not good motivation, not good attitude. Because whether you want it or not, every day you are going to deliver at least 4 hours of work. And even if you don't want, this is going to contribute to your success and to your profitability. So the model itself takes care of the fact that you would have a business not work on a daily basis and will have an expectation that this business will thrive and be successful. So creates attractive profits and shows a motivating career. Again, when you hear the story, when you see what is happening around you with the customers, with other distributors, with trainees, with junior partners, new nutrition clubs opening, of course this is boosting your not only metabolism, but also your motivation. Okay, now, For sponsors, this is a solid platform for selection because you can see everything. It's like a chess table. You can see who's your next possible trainee, who's your next club owner. You can see the way the people behave. You can see what are your distributors doing wrong, and you are there to correct immediately. So whether it's for training or selection or duplication through action, this is a perfect platform. It's a secure space for growth, clear and specific objectives. And this is extremely important. And one of the biggest problems the nutrition clubs model had in the past is that we confused the idea of opening a new club with the idea of opening a new successful club. Because to open a club, to have a club, and to have a successful club, these are two very different things. And one of the mistakes that have been always done is that the people will try to rush into opening the next club. And I remember when we implemented the model in Romania back in 2016, I said, I need as many safeguards before somebody is opening the club as possible. Not only I don't want to rush anybody in opening the club, I need them to have obstacles, so they will have to overcome obstacles. So only those who are best prepared and best motivated can end up opening a new club. And you know, I want to say something. I consider myself a person who has strategic vision and also has a systemic thinking. I understand systems, I can build systems, I understand systems, I just see everything in systems. But what Dan and Claire created with this model, I mean, guys, kudos. I'm here to learn, and I'm absolutely honest about that. You went above and beyond. And this is extremely solid what you said. You know, whether it's the 11 steps. I mean, I can train for an hour only on why 11 steps make sense. Because absolutely every step here makes sense in this particular order, and it's delivering results. Now, for the flippers, you will start. It was so entertaining in my organization when we first implemented 11 steps. So we started to have discussions in the group. Oh, we think 8 steps is enough. I said, really? Who died and made you the judge of how many steps needs to be here? Oh, we work perfectly with 7. We don't need 11, you know? This is very important that when you look at the business model, you don't change anything. And I'm coming to a very important part of that. Whether this is 11 steps, which is a clear pathway, whether this is the pathway which you use, this is the translated pathway in our version. This is the Romanian version of the UK pathway. We have preferred customer program in Romania, so we had to build it in. Here you work a little bit different. But whether we are talking about flow or the pathway, how you call it here, it doesn't matter. Every step in here is well thought. Every step has its own place. And one of the things which is very important, every red arrow is a critical conversation. This is something very important to understand. And also, I would like to address, because we have a lot of people in Zoom right now from different countries, literally thousands of people, and we have a lot of people from different countries, and we have people in the organization, in the UK, who are not from Claire and Dan organization. And to change the business model, I learned this term from you here from the UK, the flippers, you know. I have another term for it. I say emerging innovation or implemented innovation. Okay, so emerging innovation is when Claire and Dan start with one person in the club with you, yes? Okay? And everything what is built from these 3 people. This is emerging innovation. So all the people who are coming afterwards, they all speak the same language. They have all the same mentality. They are bred within the concept. Now, implemented innovation is when you have 3,000 supervisors walking in this direction for a couple of years, and when you tell them, you know, guys, stop, ho. We are now started to work in this direction, you know? And this is extremely difficult. Now, the process that is happening, and I want to warn those of you who want to implement, in your organizations, if you are leaders. And those of you who want to do it for yourself, the process through which you are going is this. Now, I'm explaining you that as a psychologist. Now, this is just part of my profession. So you see, the flipper is not just changing the direction. The flipper needs to go around his head and then land on his feet in order to incorporate everything what's new. Now, in order for you, and I just don't have time, I even wanted to do a demonstration before I would give you these steps. No, not of flipping. No. Unless you want to witness Turbo's Club getting traumatized on the UK event, I'm not going to do that. Okay. So when you want to implement something new, you need to go through some learning stages. Now, this is neuropsychology, literally. You need to listen, but you can listen for 100 times. How many of you have listening that they have been listening that there is a nutrition club, and you really don't, and one moment you hear it. Oh, nutrition club, I hear it. How many of you went through that process? A lot of you. So to listen about and to hear is different. Then you started inquiring, let me look into that. You watch a couple of videos, you maybe went to a master class, you maybe talked to somebody else, you started inquiring. And starting to consider what if, until you made a decision. And when you made a decision, and this decision maybe happened 6 months later, or maybe 1 year later, or 2 months later. So there is a time lag. And then you decided to study the model. And then you decided to try. And guess what, when you tried? Invariably, you failed. And when you failed 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and you started all over, again, until you figured it out, and then you succeeded. This is a process which takes time. And it takes between 6 months and even 2 years for some people, you know. So for me, because I know all of that, the implementation, I took 2 years for implementation in Romania. What is the message here is that as flippers, you can make a mistake to not have enough patience for yourself until you understand what you need to do. You may give up. And now the third, which is the most dangerous, is you will start making changes of the pathway just because you used to do things in a different way. And this is changing the whole game. This is extremely important to understand. What is my main idea here? You are at this Nutrition Club Masterclass. For you is to actually religiously listen to what these guys are teaching us on stage, to take every single detail into account, not overlook anything, and not start changing. You know, we have the flow committee, almost the whole flow committee is here with me in the UK, and we have these like weekly meetings because we implement the model and we discuss everything, and from time to time there is a question, what if we do this way? And I say, what will make us do this way if the guys in the UK are doing it in that way? We don't know why they do it in that way. The only thing we know, we need to do it exactly the same. And when we do it exactly the same, we will understand, we will figure out, and only when we are extremely successful in the original flow, we can think about amending it. So following the exact pathway is extremely important. Now, guys in the UK, from other organizations, you may be tempted to change things. Not 11 steps, but by 10s. Going over some important things, not doing everything these guys are doing. What will happen? You will get a different result. You will get disillusioned in the model. Some things will not work. Now, when you are not precise in implementation, whatever you duplicate is going to duplicate as a not precise duplication. And then you will try to correct it. You will have to start all over again. Now, I did a mistake in implementation. I didn't understand from the beginning the importance of the day 10 re-evaluation. And we have implemented it for almost 6 or 7 months without day re-evaluation. And we were in December in my house. All the flow committee came, and we had a full day brainstorming. And one of the guys came and he said, we have a problem. We don't sell the second, the third, the fourth membership. And I say, why? Why don't we sell the second, the fourth, the third, and the fourth membership? And I'm calling Dan and Claire, and you were shopping in some shop, you know. And I said, listen, I'm sitting here with the flow committee. We need how many memberships you're selling? And they're telling me, oh, we sell about the average 8 to 9 memberships, you know. And we all went like blank. I said, what's the problem? And we understood that we missed the idea about the 10-day reevaluation, which is making the whole sense, which is taking care of everything. So to be precise in implementation is extremely important. Guys from other organizations, you will be tempted to change. Guys from Claire and Dan organization, you will see guys from other organizations changing things, and you will be tempted to change what your sponsors are doing just because you see somebody else's change. My advice, don't stick to your game, because any changes are going to affect the productivity and you will not know why, you know? So the reason why I'm here, together with my guys from the Flow Committee, I said, I want to be here attentive every single moment. I want to screen for any tiny detail which maybe I missed in the implementation, because I know that even a tiny detail which I miss is going to influence the result. And rushing the implementation is also very difficult. Flippers take 2 years. 2 years. 2 years to implement. If you don't have the full model implemented before 2 years, don't be afraid. This is how it's supposed to be. It will take you 1 year until you will figure out how to acclimatize the model in the organization, and another full round until everybody will start finally doing the same thing, because this, you know, everybody is like cockroaches, you know, everybody running in all different ways. I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. And even yesterday in the airplane, I was talking to the guys. We have here some guys who are extremely successful. I mean, their volumes are through the roof. Their club is producing like 30,000 volume points or something. And I'm asking, do you do the 10-day reevaluation? And they say, not really. And when I started explaining, well, guys, what do you mean not really? I mean, are you kidding me? And I started explaining what is the 10-day reevaluation. And they looked at each other and they said, can you imagine what we will have in the club if we will start doing that, you know? So don't rush, don't change. Have patience, because this is taking time. It's important to understand that the good flow is a stream of very precise conversation, key phrases and actions. It's not happening by accident. You don't say this day in this way and tomorrow in another way. The secret to the duplication is precision. Every single day, you say the same. You say you have the key phrases, you ask for referrals in a certain way, you do the evaluation in a certain way, you do the 10-day re-evaluation in a certain way, you watch the steps, how to progress your people through the pathway. All the elements are very, very neatly tied to each other. One conversation is bringing the next conversation, is bringing the next conversation, is bringing the next conversation. And another thing in the flow, at each step, you need to take care of this step to announce to the customer or the distributor that the next step is going to be this one. And when you arrive to the next step, you always refer. Remember last time I told you that the next step is going to be, I don't know, a 10-day reevaluation, or get into the action group, or do this or do that. And then you can claim this for the customer and for distributor and help them progress on the pathway. Changing all the elements may affect all the elements. And again, to those of you who are implementing it into the organizations, you need to know that it will take time. It will take time. You are going to come here, and you're going to go back into your country, and you're going to do the training, and you're going to explain all the details. And then 90% of the people will say, I don't want to do that, you know? And that's okay, because the people who start at the beginning are small percentages. And it's very good. It's better when you start with lesser people, because then you have time to figure out all the details, you know? And it's taking you about 2 years until, as I told you, until everybody is getting in. And you will have people which will never transition to the business model. And you will have people which will go out of the business because they will not be wanting to transition unless they find themselves another way of doing. And this is something which is normal. Evolution always happens like that. So don't rush and don't really get scared because some of your people are not here. Because like, you know, with Leanne, success is the best argument. When your people will see your numbers, then they will see what is happening. They are going to become curious, and they will want to emulate, and they will want to copy. Now, have enough patience, because every time you change something in your flow, as I told you, is taking time until people are processing it. And most of the people do the mistake to try something for a couple of months. They don't see the complete results in the beginning, and then they say, this is not working, and then they change. And that's meaning that they start the process all over again. And again they change, and again they change. And they never live through a full implementation of an idea to really reap the results. Okay, my personal process is this. I always start a test to figure out the details. And I'm very happy because Clara and Dan shared with me that they do the same. And the people in our group know. I always tell them, guys, I'm taking this idea to a test. Just have patience. In about 6 months, we're going to tell you whether we do it or not. The same thing we did with the nutrition clubs. We took a test group. We took a flow committee, and we started implementing in about 10 or 15 clubs and looking at the experience and understanding what's working, what's not working, why it's not working, calling again Dan and Claire, this is not working, why is this not working? And they would explain, and we will go and fix that, and through stages, we will figure out how this is working. Then you build the supporting assets, because you will have to change the training system, you will have to change the content of academies, you will have to change the HOM, you will have to change everything. You need to build these assets, to do the presentations, to prepare this for your groups. This is for high levels of leadership. Launch in the team and follow the implementation and have patience. So just for everybody in this room, I want to congratulate you for the fact that you are working in a business model which is highly, highly productive, highly, highly sustainable, which has a very good impact long-term on the marketplace, which is taking care of each customer and the distributor in a way which no other business model is able to do, which is very well thought from a systemic point of view, and the background which Claire and Dan have in managing and in franchising and in working with different types of business structures, help them to build here elements which are very important. And not only about that, but the fact that we have a very nice mission to fulfill, guys. We have so many people who are desperate because they are unhealthy and they don't know what to do. We have a lot of people who are desperate because they don't see any future in their finances and career and the lifestyle. There is so many things we have to share. We have a 40 years of history. We have an incredible corporation. I can tell you, as a board member, you have no idea what type of corporation we had. I always have been proud of the company, but as a board member and looking behind the scenes and understanding the level of management, the level of organization of everything behind the scenes, this is just state of the art, not only in the production line, but in all the departments of our company. So we are perfectly aligned for the future. The only thing that we need is to have a vision, to have a pathway, to have a flow, and to be ready to seriously work for that.